Welcome to another episode of Daisy and G Spill the Tea.
Guys, to our second episode of
Daisy and G Spill the Tea.
Whoop, whoop.
So we have a very important guest with us today. We would like to introduce you to our fantastic Managing Director, Tessa.
Hello. I'm actually super nervous to be on here.
Tessa,
Yeah, I don't like all this. I don't like being front. I prefer to be behind the scenes.
To be fair, you are the first when the cameras come out to hide behind everyone.
I definitely am.
You are.
So I think I'm being quite brave.
You are
really
for sure.
Pushing yourself outside your comfort zone, don't we,
Thank
Dave?
you.
We do.
You were one of the first people we thought of when we were putting this little podcast together. We were like, we need Tessa.
I don't think you do. I don't think you'll be saying that when we get 5 minutes into it and I'm going like, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes actually.
For those of you who don't know, Tessa is the Managing Director here at Sandra Reynolds and has been for how many years now?
Well, sort of since the early 90s, really.
Yeah.
Quite a long time. Before you were born, probably.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'm really young.
And also for those of you who don't know, so the name Sandra Reynolds as a whole, there's a little bit of history to it. So Sandra is in fact your mum.
She is, yes.
And she established the business back in the 70s, if I'm right.
Yeah.
And we've been going ever since then.
Ever since, yeah.
And
1975 it was established.
1975. So, I
She's
mean,
now 80 this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll have to
Birthday.
get
You
Sandra
will
on.
have. She's like me. She hates being in front of the camera. So you'll probably get her kicking and screaming.
Wow. Sign a little petition down below if you want to get Sandra on the podcast. So Sandra Reynolds as a whole, it's kind of obviously come a long way since the 70s. So initially it actually wasn't even really solely a modelling agency, was it? It was...
No, it started off as a grooming school, modelling and grooming school,
Yeah.
which was sort of fashionable back then. We had Lucy Clayton in London. That was a sort of grooming and finishing college. And so that's how it started off, and then the agency sort of grew from there.
Yeah. So am I right in thinking, like, I have a vision of girls walking up and down with books on their heads?
Yeah.
All about
Strut your stuff.
To be fair, that was kind of before my time, but yes, I think so.
That kind of
I think,
thing.
yeah.
That's really interesting.
Getting how to
Really
get in and out of
interesting.
cars.
Oh.
And how to sort of introduce yourself confidently and shake hands.
I probably
Actually, to
should
be
have gone to
fair,
that
I
school.
think a lot of that should be
I don't know
taught
how you
now
get
in
out of a
schools.
car. Yeah, no, I agree, because
Sort of help
sometimes getting out of a
people
car
when
is
they're-
really hard.
Well, yeah,
Especially if you've
especially
got,
if you've
like,
had a
a
few
scar.
wines.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you're wearing what we wear.
Me, never.
Yeah, that's obviously really interesting because obviously a lot of agencies in the commercial industry are very like new, and obviously there's nothing wrong about that, but it's really nice that Sandra Reynolds has been like,
Established.
it's like an OG.
Yeah, for
Sandra
sure.
Reynolds is an OG.
What's an OG?
Good question.
What does it stand for?
What does that mean?
Original.
Oh, original gangster.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Sandra Reynolds, the OG.
The original gangster.
Yeah, so Tessa, today we're going to be talking to you, just get the inside scoop a little bit. Obviously, you've been around for some time now, you know everyone.
So rude, Georgia.
I mean that in a
Honestly,
nice way
you've
possible.
been around for a really long time. So we just want to know what you think.
No, so actually
Talk about the
be...
olden days.
All of the pictures were
Tessa
in
used to
black
get a
and
horse and
white.
cart for work.
Well, you joke.
And the streets
Yeah.
were all cobbled.
I mean, actually, something that I find really interesting about even like the agency, how it's established and how booking was even like 20 years ago compared to now is something so simple as updating model images. If you now, if you, back in those days, it wasn't so simple, was it?
No, I mean you would have to do. So I remember hanging around. There used to be an imaging lab called Metro, and in the sort of 80s and 90s, all the photographers' assistants would be hanging around the cafes around Metro because they would have to take all the film in after the shoot to be processed to then go back to show the client the next morning. So
Much longer process.
yeah, and they used to have to take Polaroids, so you couldn't see what you were shooting. So there would be Polaroids. I don't know if you guys, you know what a Polaroid is.
Yes.
Yeah.
A proper Polaroid, not like just something we call
Like,
Polaroids,
not
that are
the cute
digital
little ones.
images. But yeah, I used to have to. So they used to set up the lighting, and then they get Polaroids, assistants would be just rubbing the Polaroids to get them to develop, and then so before they'd shoot, they'd check the lighting with the Polaroids, and then it would all be shot on film, and then the film would be biked to one of the imaging labs for processing.
Yeah, bikes as well.
It's got couriers on, bikes, motorbikes, and things all over.
I mean, these clients obviously we work to quite tight turnarounds sometimes like 12 hours, 24 hours. I mean, that just wasn't a thing, or wasn't doable.
No, I mean, the labs used to work all night though. Used to process 24/7.
Really?
So so I think the assistants didn't sleep. If you were a photographer's assistant back then, you didn't sleep.
No. And obviously some of the people that are on our books as well have been with us since those earlier days as well, so it's really nice to have carried them through that entire time.
How has the industry changed since you took over the running of the company from Sandra?
Okay, so obviously digital photography I think is probably one of the biggest things, which is what we just talked about. So that's just been a massive difference, that now we're literally shooting and you can see on a screen what you've shot, so you can tweak things and it
instantly.
And
I guess technology as well, like how would you in those days go about booking, like
booking, we used to have to do everything by hand, so we would have and by post. And I remember when we got our first fax machine, we were so excited. Because everything would be posted. So literally your confirmation, your clients would phone, all the models, we'd have to have printed index cards for the models, which of course date really quickly. They were expensive to print.
Or they changed their look.
Then absolutely, which we know happens all the time. So we would have to then send those out to the client by post, or bike them, bike them round. So couriers were super busy. And then it evolved to being books. So every agency produced a proper book. I mean, again, super expensive. And hours and hours of, doing the layouts and the scanning everything. And then obviously from then, digital, I remember having our first website, which is just so exciting. Our first computers. But no, we used to do everything. We used to have little books, invoicing books, confirmation books, which had, so we, write on, and they had a little, what were they called? You have no idea. I don't know why I'm asking you. The sort of ink pad underneath. I can't remember what it transfers.
You can get a green and a yellow and a pink.
Called? I can't think.
Probably a transfer pad, I would say.
Let's say that. And we used to write them, and then we'd keep the green copy at the agency, the yellow copy would go to the client, the white copy would go to the model. I mean, literally everything was done by hand and by post.
That is crazy.
Amazing.
But also very interesting. I find that very interesting, because actually it's not really that long ago at all. And if you think about how time has changed in such a really
now
short
we're totally time. I mean, everything is done on on the back end of our website, isn't it? Our website's completely built to have databases and booking systems, and
we all know about it when the Wi-Fi goes down.
Oh yeah,
absolute meltdown.
It really is.
Place.
Absolutely.
Right.
But the looks of models as well has changed quite a lot. I think we're going from the kind of glamorous, I guess, supermodels of the 80s. You had sort of Cindy, Christy, Naomi, and then Kate Moss obviously came bursting into the industry, and that sort of took it. I suppose the trend was then more grunge.
Yeah, she's so grunge, isn't she?
Yeah. And I remember doing a shoot with Sandra sort of back in the day. With one model, we were styling a shoot together, which never happened again. Like, we'd never agreed on anything. But she was trying to get her to sort of sit up and pout, and I was trying to get her to like slouch and look pissed off. It was just like
different visions.
And then it got to super skinny, that sort of super skinny stage, which wasn't great. And now it's kind of come round, and it's lovely now. I think actually. I think models are a lot more relatable. It's very diverse. Clients want, certainly in the commercial industry, that I don't think age, height, size really matters. If they've got the right look and.
I agree there fully.
It's so inclusive, and I think we said this in the last podcast, but that's why we love our job, because that was what makes every day different. Not everyone is. We're not looking for any one look. We're looking for. Everyone, a representation of everyone in the world.
Anybody and everybody.
And it's about a lot of it. It's so important that the model is, professional and, fun to work with. Clients want people that are going to make a shoot work, and so that's as important, isn't it?
Well, they do say that beauty is only skin deep.
It is.
So
there's no hope for you.
And then agencies. So when I first set up in London, agencies were, every model was only with one agency. You know, models wouldn't be with
Multiple,
two agencies in, you know, in the same sort of country or territory. And I think MOT actually were the trailblazer with this. So they very cleverly branded themselves Models Out of Town, MOT.
Oh, yeah. I never knew. That's
did you
what
know
it
that?
stood for.
Yeah. And they started taking on the models that were with the London agencies and started undercutting. And then, of course, the London agencies would go, you know, put their foot down and say, right, you need to leave MOT, we want you with us. And a lot of the models then looked at that and went, well, hang on a minute, I'm getting more work through MOT than I'm getting through my London agency. So then the London agency had to make a decision, do we allow them to be with MOT still, or do we lose them completely? And that's sort of how it, and now you know, models can be with maybe 2 or 3 different agencies, especially if they act as well. They can have an acting agency and a model
I mean, we
agency.
do say that, obviously, whilst we encourage that we are a non-exclusive agency and that you can be with other agents, we obviously also encourage you not with too
one
many.
or 2 others.
I mean,
certainly wouldn't take someone with 5 or 6 different agencies.
I had one had 15 the other day, and it's just too much. And from a booker's stance, it just saturates your book.
Well, and from a client's point
feedback
of view,
before, though,
you know,
haven't we? Like with some models that are with multiple agencies, like we've had clients say, oh, we are like a bit confused because we've just seen them so many times, we don't know who that with, sort of thing.
If they've got one for sort of mainly acting, one for modelling, then that's fine.
If they see the same headshot, I mean, if I were a client and I'd seen the same headshot time and time again, and obviously whilst that's great for the models to do their booking, as an agent, or as a client, sorry, you're wanting that fresh face that's not got any affiliation with any other brand. So
absolutely,
totally.
Absolutely.
And that's why we have to be so brilliant, because we want, you know, the clients need to come to us because they want to work with us, and that's why you guys need to and do go above and beyond on everything, because
like clients definitely buy into us, I think. Like,
the people,
absolutely, and the models we represent. You know, we send one bad model out, and it they'll just go, well, we're not using that agency again. It's so important that everyone we represent goes out and represents us in the best possible way.
And I do think we are like so lucky with that, with like the talent that we do represent. I think we have so many like lovely, grateful talent that are just an absolute,
that work with us,
like an absolute joy to like put forward and whatever. So I think we are.
And
we're a team. It's a team together with us in the office, you know, and the talent.
It's almost like a family, isn't it? And like you're the annoying sister.
But the one that's like sending you like 5 emails, you're not replying, then calling you like 3 times, like, hi, I've emailed you. Can you reply to me?
Yeah, but I do like, with my other hat on when I'm doing production. I know sometimes I have to book specific models for a client because they want that specific model, and the agents are rude and unhelpful, and I don't enjoy dealing with them, but you've got no choice because the client wants that model. I'm not going to name any names, but I'd go ballistic if you treated people like...
Seeing as you think that we are so brilliant, and we have that on camera now, so thank you, Tessa. What would you say are 3 words to describe both Daisy and I? 3 words for me, 3 words for Daisy.
Okay, so Daisy, I would say...
Fired?
Energetic.
Sassy.
Definitely sassy. You're very sassy. There's
more
more sass in this company than down in that booking office. Funny. I think you're quite funny.
Why did you say that one? It always goes straight to her head.
You missed out.
You can have 5 words if it helps you.
A cross. I don't know. You're like that.
2.
Like that girl off Legally Blonde.
Cross, she's so annoying.
Cross with that. I know. Well, cross with that Emily in Paris. I used to watch that. I used to message you guys going, "I'm watching Georgia in Paris."
Yeah, she used to go into the office and say that and be like, "I feel like I'm watching Georgia's life," and I'll be like, "There's less men in it, but yeah." Okay. Carry on.
That's it. There isn't any other words. I have no words, Georgia, for you other than what I just said.
Look, I'm going to take it as a compliment, actually.
You should probably. So talk to us about the new office and the move and like how you designed each room, because like it is
a nightmare.
Amazing.
Unreal.
Like we need to do that. We actually genuinely need to do a tour.
I'm not gonna lie, Tessa,
beautiful.
when you first showed me the building, I must admit you had to have amazing vision.
Yeah.
I was like
especially like where the booking desk is, because
it was literally a dark
it was like where I remember when we all did that first tour, do you remember? And you were like, this is where you guys are gonna go, we're knocking this through, and I was
just looking at it like that's what I'm gonna say
We can go on there.
No, I loved it. We nearly missed it. So we've been looking to buy a head office for a long time. We've been renting. We were in a beautiful building. We've rented the same beautiful Tudor building since 1975. And, part of my plan has always been to own our own head office. So we did find something just before COVID hit. And I didn't go for it because obviously no one knew what was going to happen at that point. I actually pulled out. I thought, no, this isn't the right time. I need to just bide my time. And I nearly didn't see this one because it's about 3 square foot smaller than my search terms that I was looking for on Rightmove. So it never came up. And I suddenly thought, I haven't seen anything for a long, long time. I'm just going to go quickly on Rightmove. Saw this building, came straight up, and it was a building that I've been driving past for years and years and years, and it was a piano shop. And it was a piano shop, and it always used to have a beautiful grand piano in the window, in the downstairs shop window, and I used to think, wow, that building would just be beautiful. Something like that for us would be amazing. So it came up, and I called the agent, and they said, sorry, sealed bids are going in, the deadline's tomorrow, we've got so much interest, we can't show you around, we're not showing anyone around. So I kind of put the phone down, and then I thought, no, I'm going to go and see this building.
Yeah, I'm going to push for it.
I hadn't been in at that point. Eventually persuaded them to see us. Had to put the offer in that day, literally, or the next day.
Did you feel
but
scared?
I walked in, I loved it. I just loved it. I just could
like
see the vision. I just thought, this is our building. I need to have this building. And so was very shocked when I got the call the following week to say that we were the successful bidder, because they said they had loads of property developers. That
I do remember you coming
into
into the office
and
saying,
you came down and you were like, we've got it, we've got it.
And I think I cried but probably I was quite scared as well, because I mean, it's cost me 3 times what I thought it was going to cost to renovate. If I'd have done any due diligence, there's no way I'd have touched it with a barge pole.
No, yeah.
But I didn't, thank goodness.
No,
and so we had 6 months, didn't we, of me like running between. Like I'd get back to the office and a builder would ring and I'd have to go back.
Oh, bless you. I did feel for you. I mean, chasing those tradesmen.
So,
but I mean, it was worth it. And also, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
You weren't meant to get that one prior to COVID.
No, absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And it's just, I love it. I still can't believe it's ours. I absolutely love it.
I feel like when we first moved in, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
It was very surreal, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like,
I just wanted you guys to just have a
now.
lovely place to work.
Yeah.
And I think it
So
just
lovely.
works, doesn't it, with the space and, you know,
that's
the different
the thing
areas.
that we needed more, wasn't it? Really needed the space. I mean, obviously we have a lovely studio now. We have a big old booking desk, and obviously we'll put an office tour live.
Yeah, we'll do an office tour.
Just a bit of tidying up first, Daisy's desk. But yeah, we're really, really lucky.
So
We've
really
got
busy.
even like a breakout area,
Yeah.
a lovely kitchen. I mean,
even though it's like so big, it's still like quite cozy, like
Yeah,
homely.
it is.
Like,
Yeah.
do you think it feels like just a little bit that I'm at home? I'll go upstairs and like put my feet up and just be like, oh.
Yeah.
God, I can now
And it
do
used to
glass
be a
of wine.
pub years ago, so that's always linked with
Yeah.
us
I
a
didn't
bit,
know that's
doesn't
what you
it?
said the other day.
Yeah, the drum it used to be called,
Yeah.
which is why we've called it the Drum House again.
It's really interesting.
So
I mean, I
cool.
didn't know that until I was doing some online shopping, and then I was like, why is the kid telling me the drum house?
So your booking desk, where your booking desk is, used to be the yard where they used to drive all the barrels of beer in, and then they used to roll them down the steps into where the cellar is.
Oh, because I saw that the
Oh my
other day,
God,
because
the
the
cellar.
steps have almost got like the ramps either
They
side.
have
haven't
the
they? So you can
old,
just roll
the old
down.
brick sort of steps and the old wood. Yeah,
That is really nice though. Nice to have a
Yeah.
bit of history, isn't it?
definitely.
I mean, the building prior to this one was like the second oldest in Norwich, wasn't
Yes,
it?
it
Bacon
was.
House.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
also haunted.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a ghost that lived there.
Apparently.
Annie.
There was a little girl that used to walk through.
Annie, was she
the
called
rooms.
Annie, or did we give her that
We
name?
gave her that name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a ghost here.
Is there? Oh, tell me.
If there's a ghost
Oh, I hope so.
here. So, Tessa, oh my God.
Daisy's
Oh
been
my
watching some
God.
strange stuff.
Oh no, go
Strange
on.
things
Yeah,
on
so I've
Netflix.
just,
Tell me
like,
about our
watching, like,
ghost.
weird stuff. And then I was like, oh, if there's any ghosts in this room now, make yourself known. Lights started flickering. And it did it twice.
Is that when the
did it
electrician
twice.
was here doing the...
No, I thought it was rain. I thought it was a rainy day. And it was very, like, spooky.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
And
don't
the
really
chi-
know
and the
their
So
name.
more research needed a bit.
Yeah. Obviously, like, I'll report back. But
Yeah.
just, you know, they should probably
What kind of
start
ghost would we like?
They should start paying rent.
One that's a photographer. That would be good.
Oh, that would be
Just
handy.
set it up
Yeah.
and like just They just press the button.
Could you imagine?
What is in, say, your 5 to 10 year plan extra for Sandra Reynolds?
Oh, we've literally just moved in here. Give me
I know.
a break. No, I think we've got our new sort of division. I think we just need to really develop. I think we've got a fantastically strong business, and we need to develop that. Now we've sort of done our little This Is Us branding, which is sort of takes in our LGBT and our disability division. I think we really need to build on those, push those, work on those. And just do what I think we do now really well. We've grown really steadily and strongly over the years. The last few years. COVID we were so lucky with. I think, we obviously had that announcement like everybody else from Boris that everyone has to stay at home, and we were like, Alex and I were like, okay, how long can we afford to pay people for? Are we going to be getting any money in? What's going on? And obviously we had those 2 months at home, which actually worked for us, didn't it? Because we were doing the new website. Yeah. So I spent the whole of lockdown going through every single person's every single picture, transferring them over to the new website, sorting new images out, sorting them all out. And so that worked really well. And then we opened again, didn't we, on the 1st of June? And I think the industry got back on its feet really quickly. I think, we had a really strong COVID protocol. We were one of those industries that couldn't work from home, so shoots could go ahead. I think we did really well. I think the industry did really, really well.
We were very lucky, and hopefully we don't have to cross that bridge.
And we've come back literally from that June and never been busier, have we?
No,
we've just been...
no, it's really strange. We almost seem to have, it's an odd thing to say, but done well off of COVID. I don't know if But we're obviously really very lucky.
I think we do tend to do well when there's any kind of downturn in the economy or any worry kind of in the economy, because I think those brands that are doing really well, want to make sure they're in people's shopping baskets and they're at the top of the list.
What is your favourite development that the agency has had?
Pay Next Day. I've wanted to do Pay Next Day for years. I just think it's really difficult for people that are freelance, self-employed, to manage their money. It's impossible if you've got your rent to pay. You know what your bills are every month. You don't know when you're going to get paid for stuff. It's awful. It's a horrible, and it's always a horrible feeling if you're sort of worried about where the money's going to come to pay for something. And so I've really wanted to do this, but obviously it's taken quite a big cash flow to do it, so we've had to build up to that point. But I'm really glad we did it. It's definitely my favourite thing. And,
and I think lots of models are also appreciative of it. And also clients are actually aware of it as well, and they are fully in support of the Pay Next Day, and they don't feel it's right also, because sometimes it's not always our immediate client's fault, and we appreciate that there is a big chain.
Of course. And actually the big companies are the worst. And I think, but we have this sort of 30-day payment terms and 10-day clearing, and so actually that was set up when people were posting checks years ago, back in the day, before you were born. We used to have to write our invoices out. The invoice had to then be posted to the client. The client had to then process that invoice. They then had to write a check out. They then had to get the managing director to sign the check, or sometimes 2 signatures. The check then had to be posted to us. It then had to go into the bank and be clear. So that then all made sense. But now there's actually, in my mind, there's no reason why you can't turn an invoice around and pay it within 7 days now.
Absolutely, with digital, you can do like a CHAPS payment, and that takes like 2-3 days.
Bank payment takes 2 seconds.
There's
no reason that people take so. Some of the big companies are 90 days, and it's just, you can't expect, models to wait that long. It's just not fair, when people have done a really good job for you. But, with Pay Next Day, we've taken that weight off people, so that's our problem, which is fine. And we were able to say to the model.
We should probably do a little shout out to people that are eligible for our Pay Next Day scheme.
Because a lot of people haven't signed up.
I don't know why you wouldn't do it.
If you've had an email, make sure that you have to actually go and sign up to our terms. Just because you've had an email doesn't mean you're automatically on it. You have to sign up. It does explain it quite clearly, but you have to sign up, and then you're on it, and then you'll get paid the day after the invoice.
And it's just as simple as that. If you are in any doubt of whether you are eligible. The criteria is, remind me, £1,000.
Yeah, you have to have been with us for 6 months and have earned at least £1,000.
Yeah.
So
hopefully by the time you've been with us for 6 months.
And
then you'll get an email through, an automatic email through.
Yeah, exactly. The emails are automatically generated, so should you become eligible, we'll obviously send out that email as soon as that happens. But if you are in any doubt or anything, just pop one of the bookers an email, and we're happy to check.
Just check in with you guys.
Yeah, get on board with the Pay Next Day scheme. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Tessa, what is your favourite work memory?
Oh gosh,
Was it my first day?
Yeah. My favourite work memory. Gosh. Oh, I'd probably get quite a lot of people into trouble if I say too much. Some of them are quite a blur.
Yes. Cheers.
I don't know really. We have lots of time. I remember going to. Oh, I love Amsterdam. It's one of my favourite cities.
I've not been.
It's amazing.
Oh, I love it.
Like
I just really like it. It's just. It kind of feels a bit like home. I just love walking around
do you
all
know
the
what?
canals.
That's like the only place I've been where I've thought, I can actually live here. Like it's really friendly.
And the first time I went to Amsterdam, Lisa and I, who I used to work with, and we went to see some agencies. We were placing some models, and we had the funniest time.
Really?
Yeah, and I just.
Why was that funny?
Can we say on camera?
I'm not very good in Amsterdam. When I go with my husband, he literally wants to put me on baby reins because I'll pop into a cafe and have and then I'll walk out straight in front of a bike normally because there's just bikes.
Yeah,
I think
everywhere.
It's brilliant. Hopefully, we'll be more like that. But there are bikes everywhere, and I just don't look. I kind of walk straight out and go.
That's not for you.
I'm sorry.
Maybe we should do an SR on tour. We should all go to down.
I'd like that. So yeah.
What is the favourite part of your job? Because I actually would say, from like an employee point of view, and I'm sure Daisy would agree, that actually I think for lots of managing directors and like top bosses, it's very easy for them to just shut themselves away in their glass tower and look out but not come down. And I think
you are so involved, it's good.
And
is it annoying?
Yeah.
I know, it depends. Actually, if it's like none of my stuff, no. Carry on.
No, but I just think like it's nice because you're very aware of what's going on. You don't just shut yourself away from it, and you know,
and
I think
also
it's really
like
important.
I feel like I really appreciate like if there's just something that we come across that we haven't dealt with before, just to be like, Tessa, like
no question is too silly.
Like what would you do and whatever, and you kind of just like talk us through.
Because I've done your job. And,
and you're very like, right, this, and this.
Yeah.
And then
I
it's
normally
like,
go, what would you do? And actually normally we agree. I love seeing you guys develop. I love seeing, you know, from kind of little Katie, our apprenticeship, booking her first job, you know, being so excited, to like you getting $100,000 campaign that you've worked on, you know, for months, and it's suddenly all come together. I just, and just the develop. Yeah, I just love that. I love that, and I love seeing, you know, taking new face on and then seeing them
grow as well.
Which I know you guys, you know, get kicks out of as well,
I love to like
don't you?
nurture someone from the beginning and then see them. Yeah, grow.
Also,
like,
I love it when like you meet someone when we do like the casting days and you're like, like you're gonna smash this, and then they do like smash it.
Yeah. And you're like, I knew that. I knew that.
Yeah. No, I love that, and it's a real, you know, it is the best bit of my job, but it can also be the worst. You know, obviously.
Yes.
There are the occasional dramas, aren't there, Georgia? And
Georgia is always in the drama. Like,
joking.
Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama.
Oh really? I knew this was gonna come out.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna address the elephant in the room.
You begged for your job back, didn't you? You were like,
I did. So unfortunately, I made the big mistake of leaving Sandra Reynolds.
Georgia thought the grass was greener, but the grass
can
is
confirm
actually
the grass
greener
is not
where you water it.
The greener is dead on the other side. I left just before
that was just
the
before
announcement.
COVID, wasn't it?
So I actually wasn't working at Sandra Reynolds when that announcement happened.
So it's a bit like, I'll save a salary.
And I started working for another company, and it just wasn't quite the same. And I remember calling my mum and saying, I don't know what I've done. Why did I do that? And she was like, you're just gonna have to call Tessa. I remember I texted you from my bedroom, and I was like, hey, hope you have a lovely day. Do you think we can have a chat later? And you were like, yeah, sure, call me whenever. And I remember being so terrified to call you, because obviously that's a scary conversation to have. And I just remember you being like, of course I fucking have you back. Of course.
I made you go on production, didn't
I? You did it on purpose. I know you did.
I said, yeah, you can come back.
We have a sister company our production team who deal with all things, production, locations, photographers, makeup artists, stylists, everything like that. And
I sent you driving around taking pictures.
I went to 14 beaches in 2 days, taking photos of wooden groins. I got to one beach, the client wanted photos of said wooden groins, and I came all the way back. I think it was in Suffolk, so it took me about an hour and a bit to get there. I came back and I was like, no groins, they've gone. And you were like, what do you mean they've gone? They are there.
I remember that, yeah.
The water was over them. I had to go back the next
day. There was high tide, so we had to send you back.
So I had to check the tides.
I'm like, now check the tides, Georgia. Off you go.
Yeah. Oh my God. And this whole time I was like, please, can I go back on the booking desk, please? And here I am.
We missed you for that very short period of time.
I think it was like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It was a long time when I was working from a bedroom.
It was quick enough that you never came off payroll, I think.
Yeah, and you know, there was like a weekly Sandra Reynolds Zoom, and I was still on it when I wasn't even working at the company. I think I was in it for like 5 weeks, like, hello everyone, and they're like, still here. And then the Zoom that you said I could come back, thank you, you said that I could come back, and you were like, Georgia, are you going to tell them the news? And I was like, I'm coming back, and I was like really upset. I called Sarah Wilson before, and I was like, I was crying and she was crying. It was just everyone was just so happy. You weren't here then. It was a really good time actually. Would you say that was your favourite time?
What, COVID?
No, before
Were
Daisy
you coming
and Jemima.
back? Yeah, probably.
All right.
No, we've had some fun times, haven't we? We'd sleep out. Do you remember sleep out? We did sleep out, didn't we, for the Benjamin Foundation?
Before that.
Oh yes, you chickened out, didn't you?
I was really ill.
Yeah.
I had laryngitis.
We slept outside, Daisy, one night in October.
Yeah, I think I
we
actually
weren't allowed to
heard
take
about
alcohol
you
when we read the
yeah.
thing. We were thinking, oh, we'll be fine. We'll just take some wine. And
you weren't allowed to.
No. Well, we.
Oh,
Yeah, we had a nice evening.
like a little festival jobby.
Hannah said she was sweating. Hannah said she was actually hot.
I know.
Did.
Well, I did. I ordered a load of king-size duvets like the week before because I thought otherwise, because I've been camping. Have you been camping where you're so cold?
Yeah, I don't like
you wake up in the night and you are so cold.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm not doing that.
Chill to the bone.
So yeah, and then we were actually all boiling.
Who is your funniest co-worker? Who makes you laugh the most? Like, laugh out loud?
Georgia makes me laugh out loud because she's so
I didn't think I had that one.
capable and intelligent, and sometimes she comes across like a right bimbo. She makes me laugh.
It's all an act, guys. I know what I'm doing.
She does know what she's doing.
Daisy's actually really
Daisy's really upset now.
Do you want?
I also love like Maria and Emma. When we get together, we laugh. But you guys are our asset. You know, you are what makes the company work. So it's so important that everyone loves their job and feels valued.
Even when like I put like silly stories on my Instagram or like the puppies in the office or
birthday
just like birthday days, or like drinks on a Friday afternoon, like everyone's always like, oh my God, where do you work? Like always so curious and like envious almost, and I'm like, yeah, Sandra Reynolds. Yeah. If you don't know, get to know. Yeah.
So you've dragged me into getting TikTok, haven't you?
Oh my God, I love it.
Finally, at long last, it
I'm like, I don't want to see what you're posting because I'll just be like, oh, no, you
want to see.
Yeah, you don't want to see.
Just know it's getting loads of views. No, I'm joking. It's Daisy.
No, people pay for mine.
This round is a little something I like to call this or that. Tessa, we're going to quick fire some this or that situations at you.
So
and you
one or the other.
This or that.
We're going to say two words, you pick one or the other.
Okay, yeah, that was
quick,
a much better way of
quick fire, okay? Morning or evening?
Evening.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Phone calls or emails?
Emails.
True. Can never get hold of you on the phone. No, emails.
Okay.
Dine in or takeaway?
Oh, dine out. Can I not have dine out?
Yes.
Is that not what dine in means?
No, dine in means...
No, dining is at home.
What, home cooked meal, do you think?
I like home cooked. Yeah, I do like cooking.
Okay, going in or staying out?
Staying in.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
Stills or actors?
Oh, I'm not answering that. Juniors.
Savage. Blue or green?
Blue.
Smoothies or milkshakes?
Smoothies.
Sweet or sour?
Sour.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Silent or a lively office?
Lively office.
Always. Birthday or Christmas?
Christmas.
Office parties or staff lunches?
Oh.
Both?
Yeah, both. There's no choice between those two.
Real or fake plants?
Real. Hate fake, plastic. Don't like plastic.
Models or clients?
Oh, definitely clients. No.
They pay us.
I can't choose between models or clients.
Beach or mountains?
Mountains. Hate
Iced
the beach.
tea or hot tea?
Hot tea.
And Daisy or Georgia?
Daisy.
I'm out. Oh. Sorry. She's got a little drama.
She's always a drama. Always a drama.
Oh, look, she's back. Everyone, I was joking. We should get you on the actors division because you're
It's all
really
an act.
good.
It's all an act.
Really good.
But anyway, Tessa told me it was me before we started filming, so I shouldn't worry too much about it.
So, Tessa, thank you so much for chatting with us today. We've
you're
learned
welcome.
so much.
You've been brilliant.
Yeah, we literally just think you're amazing. So
Do you know,
thank
I was so nervous about coming because I hate this. I feel really a bit panicky. I felt this morning, like something, and actually I now feel really relaxed.
Yeah, smashed it.
And
I
I
think
hope
it's
that-
probably because of me and my aura, but yeah.
Yeah, I hope that you might not even use it. Amy might just look at it and go,
Cut it all.
cut.
Cut it all.
So thank you for having me, and I'm really excited to follow the progress, or be involved in the progress of Daisy and G.
Spill the tea. Woo!
Yeah, I think it's a great idea,
Thank you so
guys.
much for watching, everyone, and join us again very soon.